One really, really big obstacle in recovery, more than eating all your fear foods, more than the actual daily feeling of your body changing, is walking away from that identity, that like deeply entrenched to your core, who you are, eating disorder identity. And maybe under the umbrella of eating disorder, it could be like the fit, the clean eater, the disciplined, the lean, the, I don't know, vegan, whatever it is, this identity that you have. And I'm not saying all vegans are eating disorder. I'm saying oftentimes that will be an identity someone takes on when they have an eating disorder. Severing your, like teasing yourself apart from that and walking away from that is terrifying. I struggled so much knowing that if I wanted to recover, I could not have that identity of being so fit anymore. Like there wasn't a universe that I could live in where I could have that identity of being so fit, but at the same time also being fully recovered. And that was a very hard pill to swallow for me. Ugh, I hated it. It was really hard. And I had no idea how I was going to do it before I started recovery. But I knew that I had to fully recover. And so as I went through recovery, I kind of, felt like the shield of armor was being torn off of me and the vulnerability was coming out, and I felt the judgment from others, whether it was real or not. It felt real to me. And it was really a highly emotional stage of recovery for me. And if you're listening to this and you're in that stage, you're probably like, oh my gosh, yes, I hear you. Something that I did mentally, just kind of like have this like visual in my head, was to kind of look at my life as a book. And there are these chapters. And the first chapter was like me as a child, as a kid, innocent, carefree, loved food, didn't give a second thought about what I ate. Honestly, can't even recall looking at myself in the mirror as a kid, like just didn't care. That was the first chapter. And then the second chapter was essentially my eating disorder. It was a gigantic chunk of my life, huge. And that was me pretty much miserable, pretty much like robbing me of most joy. It was not a good chapter. It was really, really not. And I thought, if I'm going to walk away from this identity, I've got to have a third chapter. And that's going to be me without my eating disorder. And whatever that identity is, which inherently is just me. Like, I don't like to put labels on what is my identity. It's just, I'm just living my life. I don't have an eating disorder anymore. I guess I'm a mom and I have a husband and I work, and none of that to me is my identity though. Like all those things could go away, but it's still me. And so when I thought about that, I was like, I kind of like the idea of having this third chapter, because a book wouldn't be that interesting if it was like this fun childhood and then the rest of the book was just this person who was just doing the same old thing every single day, living miserable. It's like, what a sad thing that would be. And I'm actually living that life. It was very depressing to me. And so when I thought I can actually like change the trajectory of my future and I could pretend like I'm writing a new chapter, that could be, see, that's a book I might want to read. That's like a story of triumph. That's a story of like, whoa, look at how hard these things were, but she was courageous and she did the work, and now look at how much better things can be, right? And so I guess my point is like, if you're feeling like just because you struggled for so long, this is just your life now. I don't care if you're 75 years old listening to this, you still have another chapter to live, and that is you being fully recovered. And so you've got to really go for it with vigor, with energy and excitement, looking forward, like feeling hopeful that you actually can. Like, you're the only author here. You're writing your book. You get to decide what the next chapter holds. Make it recovery. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.